This is my critical reflection number 3. How do my products engage with audience and how would they be distributed as real media products? As Steve Neal says, genres are instances of repetition and difference. This is what pleasure for the audience is derived from. One of the ways that I've tried to engage with audiences through genre. I've made a romantic drama short film. There is an established audience out there for this type of film, and in making it, I've tried to offer the audience something different as well as something familiar. Romantic dramas do not end happily, and this is what the audience would expect. My film doesn't have a tragic ending, as in the case of many romantic dramas, but it does end with the couple splitting up. I've tried to show the stages of a relationship, and what makes my film different is that my two characters are not from different worlds, as is often the case with romantic dramas. The film is shot in first-person perspective by using POV. I feel this offers the audience something different. In some ways it marks my film as being postmodern, and I believe it would appeal to a younger audience, as well as my preferred target audience of the film festival commissioners and audiences. The film also has conventions you might expect to find in it from a dogma film. The loose camera work, natural lighting, jump cuts all contribute to this idea. When I made the film, I was thinking about a film festival audience, and I believe that such audience are film literate, and so the dogma influence, the slightly experimental nature of the film, should engage with that audience. As Nicholas Abercrombie says, media producers use conventions to create familiar and safe products which are likely to be successful. I have followed the narrative conventions of a short film, as well as the conventions of a quirky romantic drama. It has the irony which is indexed by the title, Love Story number 514432, and hopefully engages with the audience who is familiar with the genre. Looking at the uses and gratifications model, I feel that audiences will have certain needs fulfilled by my short film. Firstly, I feel that it offers them some form of escapism. Mostly I think that this is offered by the irony and the dark humour, a chance to vicariously live their lives through my characters. More importantly, I feel that the need for companionship and personal relationships is fulfilled. My film explores these themes, and audiences will be able to compare their lives and their experiences with my characters, as we have all experienced love and relationships. I hope that it will reinforce in them the sense of their own identity, that relationships are not this Hollywood glitz and glamour, passionate, exciting enterprise. Instead, they are mostly dull, pedestrian experiences that play on our weaknesses. We experience tough times and life is not all great. I hope I have successfully engaged with audiences in the ways that I've outlined, and will certainly discover in time whether the audience has a preferred or oppositional reading of my film. How would my film be distributed as a real media text? I'd always intended to make my film for the film festival circuit. Most short films are distributed through the festival circuit. This is because they are often independently produced, mostly at film schools, and they are used as a calling card for the filmmaker. There are an enormous amount of film festivals around the world, and it would be for me to create a press pack for the film and then to submit it for consideration at the film festivals. I would ideally target some of the main festivals such as Sundance or Cannes short film. Major distributors like Sony Pictures distribute films that they have produced in their own studios, but do have a small track record for distributing shorts at the front end of their movies. However, these tend to be those produced by big production companies like Pixar. Due to the indie nature of my film and the fact that I am not signed to, nor do I work for any major distributors, it would be unlikely that any major distributor would be interested in my film. It is also low budget and has no famous stars to spark media interest. However, through my research, I do know that major distributors are interested in films of the same genre as mine, especially since when making my short film I focused on what my target audience was and what they would want and be expecting. My film follows a lot of the conventions of a boy meets girl romantic drama, which may appeal to a major distributor, as they may think that it has the potential to appeal to the mass. I could keep an eye on films in production that have a similar style and tone to mine, and then could approach one of these distributors, but it's highly unlikely that they would be interested. With the rise of streaming services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime, as well as a newly announced Apple TV, new avenues of distribution have opened up. These streaming sites are vertically integrated, so that they also now fund and produce their own content. There was, for example, a series of short animations called Love, Death and Robots on Netflix. This was a very successful series and suggests an opportunity for the distribution of shorts. I feel that this is a great possibility for my short film. The final alternative would be, with the rise of the prosumer, technological convergence and the democratization of distribution, and all the long-tail economics, I could distribute my own film, use Vimeo to host my film, use social media to drive the traffic there, and even a press release and see where that gets me.